Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I will detail the life and death of Vallejo rapper Fbg Williebo. Williebo was born Willie McCoy around 1998. Williebo would grow up in a notorious area in Vallejo called The Crest. The Crest would become popular in the 90s for rappers like Mac Dre and Mac Mall, among many others. Many rappers from The Crest would become some of Vallejo's earliest rap pioneers. The Crest will also be a historical black area, being settled since the 1940s by African Americans, but the middle class area would change a lot by the 80s and become a deadly area known for a lot of violence like drug dealing, murder, and robbery, which the Rumper Room Gang, a notorious clique from The Crest, would gain fame for robberies in the 1990s. Growing up in The Crest, Williebo would see a lot. He had some good influences, with a lot of rappers having success from his area, but he also had a lot of bad influences with the things that was going on in his community. Like most kids, Willie was into sports growing up, but losing both of his parents at an early age to cancer would forever change his life. Willie would later get into the streets with what was going on around him. Willie became heavily interested in music and started to pursue a rap career around 2017 with several of his friends like Little Jonah and Little Buddha. But they had music dating back to 2014, but 2017 is when they took it serious. Willie at first would take on the name Williebo, and his collective of friends were dropping songs consistently and some videos. They even had some reaching over 100,000 views, and around the same time, Vallejo had another rising group affiliated with the area, being SOB, and SOB was becoming one of the biggest up-and-coming artists in California by 2017, and Williebo and his crew would try to follow in their footsteps and try to blow up. Williebo and his crew, like Little Jonah and Little Buddha, would start going by the name Fbg, not to be confused with Rapper Future's group or the group from Chicago. They would be cool with SOB, but later had a fallout. Williebo would start going by Fbg Williebo, and him and his crew would continue to drop several songs. But with his music not picking up fast enough, Williebo was still in the streets, and on April 11, 2018, Williebo was arrested for kidnapping and human trafficking by San Francisco police. Oakland police subsequently served a search warrant on Williebo's house, seizing numerous firearms, and charging him with weapon violations. The kidnapping and human trafficking charges arose from an incident where a woman stated that she was forced into a car driven by Williebo, with other people also in the car as well. The kidnapping and human trafficking charges were later dropped though. Williebo would continue to drop music in 2018 and 2019, but February 2019, everything would change for Williebo. Around 10:30 p.m. on February 9th, 2019, Williebo was found unconscious at a drive-thru of a Vallejo Taco Bell. He was in his car with a gun in his lap while the engine was still running in his car. A Taco Bell employee called 911, informing the dispatcher that Williebo was unresponsive to people knocking on his car window or honking their car horns. 6 police officers arrived. The 6 officers activated their body cams. The police body cam video and audio, which was later published on March 30th, 2019, showed that for several minutes, officers with gun raised conversed next to Williebo's car while he was unconscious. The footage captured the officer saying Williebo had a gun in his lap, and the footage shows that the officers then decided to open the car to retrieve the alleged gun. Police officers would then try to remove Williebo from his car, but found the door was locked, so instead attempted to block Williebo's car and the Taco Bell's drive-thru. After some minutes, Williebo allegedly scratched his shoulder, though there was no indication he was alert or aware of his surroundings at the time. Police would then say that Williebo would jerk up, and what police said he appeared to reach for a gun. According to the body cam footage and witness footage, officers then yelled at Williebo through the closed car window to put his hands up and fired at him less than 3 seconds later. The 6 officers fired 55 rounds at Williebo over approximately 4 seconds before again telling Williebo to put his hands up, and Williebo was later pronounced dead at the scene.
Video tonight of an officer-involved shooting in Vallejo. It is disturbing. You hear the moment when 6 officers opened fire at a Taco Bell drive-thru, killing...
Vallejo officers responded to a 911 call from a Taco Bell in the city regarding an unresponsive driver in the drive-thru lane of the restaurant. Upon arrival, officers discovered a car that was at the entrance of the drive-thru with a male in the driver's seat of the vehicle. They also saw a gun on the lap of the driver. Officers called for backup. Officers attempted to retrieve the gun from the driver's lap quickly and without disturbing the driver. However, the door was locked. Officers attempted to secure the driver's car by placing a car in front and behind the driver to pin it in. While the second car was approaching to pin in the car, the driver awoke. Officers directed the driver to hold his hands up and show his hands. The driver was not cooperative to the orders. The driver then reached down for his gun and officers fired at the driver. He was then pulled from the car and officers began immediate medical procedures to save his life. Those efforts were not successful and the driver died.
Williebo's death at the hands of the police will cause immediate outrage. Williebo had received roughly 25 wounds in his shooting, and his family said Williebo had been shot in the head, ear, neck, chest, arms, shoulders, hands, and back. At the end of February 2019, Williebo's family filed a wrongful death claim against the city. It will be many protests for Williebo's death.
There is a sense that within this department itself, there's a lack of appreciation, a lack of concern, a lack of caring for life.
Don't let it be your family next. Stand with us and make these people be transparent.
Why so many young black people and Latino people being killed by police officers in Vallejo just in the past 2 years, and nothing's been done?
I never imagined that it would be the police that would come and kill my brother.
They didn't give Willie a chance. He was a young boy. Y'all didn't even know how old he was. Y'all shot him more times than his age.
They treat us like we are not even human.
We knew somebody was going to get slammed on the pavement. We knew we were going to see people sitting out on the sidewalk. Like it became a normal thing. And I think that's why we don't really react to these things dramatically anymore, because we see it so much and it's become part of the culture.
The officers who killed Williebo would never be charged for killing him.
That no criminal charges will be filed against the 6 Vallejo police officers who shot and killed Willie McCoy. You may remember that officers shot and killed him after he was found passed out in his car in a Taco Bell drive-thru with a loaded gun on his lap. New at 10, our crime reporter Henry Lee is here after talking with the special prosecutor who made the decision. Henry?
Yeah, Frank, this shooting and its aftermath was just a big source of controversy. These officers fired 55 shots altogether, and in this case, no one wanted to review the case until the special prosecutor came in.
Officers felt that there was no more threat. They stopped firing.
Special Prosecutor Michael Ramos, a former San Bernardino County DA, reviewed the case at the request of Solano County DA Krishna Abrams, who recused herself. The state attorney general also refused to step in. Ramos said McCoy clearly posed a threat.
You had this individual with a gun in his lap that was loaded, that you have to, you can't sit back as a, Monday morning quarterback. And
one of the statement, Vallejo police said, the death of Willie McCoy is a tragic loss of life. We continue to extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Mr. McCoy.
So this is not surprising, but it's shocking, sickening to us.
Civil rights attorney Melissa Nold represents McCoy's family and says the gunfire was excessive.
It's an overkill. It's unnecessary. A man who hasn't actually grabbed a weapon or opened fire on you to continue to shoot until the person is just immeasurably deceased.
Now, among the materials reviewed by that special prosecutor was a report by a use of force expert, but he was hired by the city of Vallejo, and that expert found that those 55 shots were reasonable.
2024, Williebo's family will finally be awarded $5 million in a settlement.
Tonight out of Vallejo, where the city has settled a deadly shooting case involving its police department. Thanks for joining us for KRON 4 News at 10. I'm Ken Wayne.
And I'm Vicki Leviakis, the attorney for Willie McCoy's family, just confirming to KRON 4 that the city of Vallejo has reached a $5 million settlement. The shooting happened back in February of 2019, and you may remember the incident. It sparked outrage in the city of Vallejo, and in fact, the entire Bay Area. Investigators say 20-year-old McCoy was sleeping in his car outside Taco Bell when police officers opened fire at...
The family's attorney sent us a statement saying, quote, money does not equal justice when a person has been murdered. We will continue to pursue federal civil rights charges for the officers that murdered Willie McCoy, violated the Constitution, and bent their badges. This is nowhere near over. We're also waiting for a statement from the family as well as a response from the city of Vallejo.
Williebo's life was cut short at 20 years old. RIP to him. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.